It's pretty fun being in here with all these cats, eh?
It sure is. It's my favorite place to hold meetings.
Do you hold meetings in here
I do.
regularly?
I try.
It's kind of one of the perks of being the executive director there.
Exactly. But if anybody books an appointment with me from, any other walk of life and they say, I'll come to the shelter, we always gravitate towards a room with animals instead of the boring old offices.
Yeah. So tell me a bit about Bide Awhile, like the history, how to get started, that sort of stuff.
So in 1969, 6 women got together and realized that there was a huge population of cats and dogs that were not being serviced because they were homeless. So they created Bide Awhile in 1969, and they worked out of their garage. And so they soon became overwhelmed with animals and moved into Spryfield Animal Hospital. And then when they got too big for their space at Spryfield, they had to get their husbands to co-sign for a mortgage, and they purchased 12 Eaton Avenue. And then from 12 Eaton Avenue, we grew out of that, and they did a strategic plan and assessed the needs of the shelter and how it would grow, whether they could remodel 12 Eaton Avenue, or the answer was to build. And the answer ultimately was to build, so they purchased 67 Neptune Crescent, and then they built the fabulous facility that we're in now.
What's the thought behind this place?
We're here and in place to help sick, injured, and abandoned animals.
And that's, I guess, where you fit into the marketplace, different than, like if you were to explain it in terms of the other shelters, what's the ground that you occupy that's a little bit different?
So we're not publicly funded. We're strictly donations, and we're not for profit. So we have plenty of opportunities in different ways that people can help fund us through bequests, or monthly giving, our kennel club, or random donations that you just do once. Our calendar's sold yearly.
So you do a fundraising calendar?
We do fundraising, yeah.
And are they quarantined for a while?
Yes, so technically right now you're in isolation. So all the cats down here will be in isolation for about 14 days. And in that time they'll be vaccinated twice, dewormed, tested for feline leukemia, spayed and neutered, microchipped.
And people just bring them in to here?
Yep, so we have a variety of reasons why our kitties are here. Some are owner surrenders, some are strays, some are just people can no longer care for, all that good stuff. And this is the best place for them to be, so we're more than happy to look after them until they're adopted.
Soon, yeah, we're gonna see how these guys, how they work. Cause sometimes it's a little difficult with when they're brand new. Sometimes they'll be a little bit feisty, so we kind of got to take it one step at a time.
How do you determine their ages and stuff? I guess in some you would know.
A lot of the time, actually, we get like the more correct estimates of their age if we don't know them. Because sometimes they come from places where they have no idea, like how old they are.
Yeah.
So when our vet comes in and examines them, they can give a good estimate on like how old they are. Like
within a couple of
4
years.
to 5 months, or like 1 to 2 years, or something like that.
Yeah, or senior.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then we'll get a good estimate like that, and then that's what we'll go from.
She's got some attitude, does she?
She seemed okay. She's like pretty okay.
Hi, sweetheart. Is Tina on drugs today?
She is not.
Okay.
So
we'll see how she does.
she's been doing really well, so.
Even just giving them a couple extra days to acclimate is very helpful. Some of the cats on arrival are too stressed out for too much handling, so you can end up getting a cat that's a little more cooperative for an exam or for their blood draw if they've had a couple of days to decompress and adapt to their new environment here.
I know.
We're hoping that's the case with Tina. If not, there's always drugs.
Yes.
All right, now. Hi.
So we're just doing blood?
Hi, bossy lady.
We offer pet visitation, so on Saturday morning, a volunteer comes and takes 2 kittens to seniors' homes and visits with the seniors. So the 2 kittens that she we trim their nails, make sure that they're kind and loving, and then she takes them for an hour or 2 to the different seniors' homes. And I mean, a lot of times seniors have just given up their pet because they have to move into a seniors complex or they're in a hospital. And so having the kittens there is amazing. We also have the low-cost spay-neuter program for people who make less than $30,000 a year or have a valid student ID. So that it's a partnership with Eastern Passage Village Vet where they get a low-cost spay-neuter and first vaccine for their pet. It's $135 at the moment, and that's a fabulous
That's a
price
really
if you've
good-
ever had
Oh,
to get
yeah.
a cat spayed or neutered. It's very expensive, but we work closely with Eastern Passage Village Vet and some other rescues in the Maritimes where we offer them the same. The reason why we chose students is because a lot of times students are leaving home for the first time, moving into their own apartment or in with a bunch of people, and their mental health suffers.
Yeah.
And so what's the best medicine from sadness and depression is cats and kittens and dogs and puppies, right?
Do you want to grab
Sure.
that first little black and white?
This guy?
Yeah, or girl.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
you don't?
We'll have to figure
Oh, you don't even know.
Sometimes when they come in, they'll have like something like this that they'll have. So his name's Jack and stuff like that. But not all of them always have that. So, right, buddy.
Oh,
Yeah,
buddy.
we'll
I miss
we'll
you.
eventually get there. We'll figure out everybody, get them names, find out their genders, all that fun stuff. All right, kitty.
I'm gonna check if you're a boy or a girl. I'm sorry we just met, but this is not what happened. You're a little boy. So who would like to name?
Can we call him George?
We just had a George.
Oh.
Actually, our George is right there.
Yes, we can.
Okay, how about Zeke?
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 We
Sure.
don't have a Zeke.
You don't have a Zeke?
We don't, so we will name you Zeke.
I think Zeke's a great name for that guy.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Are there volunteer opportunities here if community members want to get involved?
There are, however, at the moment, because of COVID, it's been a long process to get us back into the opening up to the volunteers. Our hours were shortened for the longest time, so we're rearranging our staff hours so that we can have enough time for volunteers in the evenings. We do have a volunteer who comes twice a week, and she spends time with the cats and the kittens during the day. We're also members of the Return to Duty program through the military. So any military member who's on leave due to injury can apply to come to Bide Awhile to do their work shift.
Their work
and so
shift.
they come and work here. We have another military member who'll be starting in a couple of weeks who is actually unable to do her job anymore and releasing from the military. So she's going to work with us full time until she's released.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a great program for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
We get extra hands and help, and they get something rewarding and meaningful to do. We offer a palliative care cat program, so if a cat comes in to us who is deemed to need a medication for the rest of their life or has an underlying health issue, we put them in our palliative care program where we pay for their vet visits and we pay for their medication for their life. So you're responsible to love them, litter them, and feed them, and we are responsible for all of the bills. So that it helps people maybe get a cat that they wouldn't normally get, and it helps a cat who might normally not
Make it.
get a life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've had lots of success with that. We have about 12 cats out on palliative care at the moment. Some of them are just on allergy medicines. Some of them are on gabapentin, a large dose 2 or 3 times a day. It all just depends on their ailment. But the vet comes to us on Tuesdays, and she comes into the shelter and sees everybody who needs to be seen. And if a cat is deemed to have a disease or illness that would put them into the palliative care program, we immediately put out a post on Facebook and post them as palliative care.
Do you find homes for them fairly quickly?
Typically. The toughest ones are the diabetic cats because a lot of people aren't familiar with diabetes, period, but let alone in a cat where you have to, draw blood and check the sugars and then give them insulin based on that. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah.
effort.
Yeah, it's even a big deal here in the shelter when they're here. We are open 12 hours, but walk in the door, check the sugar, get the medication in, and then before you walk out the door, you check
the sugar,
and give the medication.
Yeah.
And make sure they don't crash, because sometimes that happens too with the insulin injection. So it's, we have to be on the ball.
Yeah.
Being clean and sterile is also a very important thing to do here. So every time we put a different cat onto the scale, we make sure we wipe it off, clean it, wash our hands between cats and all that fun stuff. So you don't want to transfer anything to the other cat, right?
Yeah.
So always washing hands. We have lots of moisturizer around all the time for dry hands.
Black cats, they sometimes don't get adopted as quickly. Is that a thing? Is that for
There's a
for
weird
real?
stigma around black cats.
I
It's
love
like
black
one
cats.
of those weird, what are those, superstitial things?
Yeah.
Is that what they call it? Superstitious? Yeah, superstitious.
And the other thing we have is the pet pantry, which is a community pantry. And we get donations of all different types of food and litter and leashes and collars and bowls, and we leave it here. And if somebody is financially unable to care for their pet, they call me or the front desk and they say, I have 2 Chihuahuas and 5 senior cats, and we do a gift bag up for them of cat food and dog food and treats. And we leave it for them, and they come, they sign, they take it away, and they take care of their pets for as long as they need to.
So another thing that's unique is that you've got separate rooms. So like Misty can be in another room, and then we've got Panda and
Tilly,
and Tulip, and a bunch of larger cats here.
that's right.
Yeah.
And then we have another room further down. Oh, you triple me here. And it's a smaller room, and we have some cats in there that are a little bit more fearful. Not everybody walks into the shelter and says, I'd like to have the most outgoing cat you have. Some people like to have a cat that, you know, is a little quieter or sticks
just
more
retreating.
to himself. Yeah. So that's the good thing about Bide Awhile too, is you really get to see their personality, and the staff here all work really hard to get to know the personality of the cat too. So when we do meet potential adopters, we could steer them in the right direction for a cat that's going to suit them. Because just because the cat is super fun and playful doesn't mean that's going to fit into your lifestyle.
Yeah, my mother-in-law wouldn't want a cat like this.
No, she would want Tulip.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she's beautiful. She's a really pretty kitty. Oh, I know.
Jack is not feeling super friendly.
No, he's like, I just got here like 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes?
Freaked out.
You showed up 10 minutes ago.
Oh, poor
Yeah,
guy.
but we can smell your breath there, buddy.
Right.
That's one of their signs, right? It's like this smell that comes out when they hiss.
And, usually you start to see,
Sorry, Lucy.
like the new guys when they come in, they're usually a bit standoffish, obviously, because they're brand new. But usually within a handful of days, they usually start to calm down a bit and they kind of get used to their surroundings. And then they're a little bit more calm, which is really nice.
We're in the kitten room.
Yes.
There's a lot of cats. There's a dog in your, and you just mentioned dogs, and there's a dog in your logo. Can you tell me a bit about dogs here?
Yeah, so we do take in dogs that need to be surrendered. We only do 1 or 2 at a time because the shelter environment for a dog is different than the shelter environment for a cat. The cats can come out, and we create our own colonies here, basically. We let them all out together.
Yeah.
We make sure everybody gets along. If they don't get along, they go in their kennel, and they come out when everybody else is in. So everybody gets their outside time. So the dogs come, we take 1 or 2 at a time because they usually stay up in the offices with us during the day, and then in the evening they go back down to their kennel. Sometimes staff will have to take animals home, so we have staff members who take home kittens that need to be bottle fed or hand fed, and I take home dogs when they just wouldn't be very happy downstairs.
Hey, did you want a table? You think we can up?
She's like, I don't do anything.
Oh my gosh, yes, you're a good girl.
Oh, that was a good job. You helped. Yeah.
Yeah, she likes to be held and picked up.
Thank goodness. You're like a little meatloaf. Yeah, so these ears also are the type that just kind of roll in on themselves, so they don't get a lot of airflow. So especially knowing that I think she is prone to like yeasty buildup, she has an ear infection at the moment from that. Let me see those teeth. Got some tartar, got some gingivitis, nothing broken. Needs braces, but they all do.
Oversized tongue.
Yes, she says, this tongue, I have nowhere to put it. Are you missing a canine tooth? Yeah.
Looks like it.
That's why the tongue's hanging out. Oh, she got me. That's why it's hanging out on that side, because the canine tooth that would hold it in place is not there.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't notice that one yesterday. She's unique.
Yes, because I like my sausages. They're my favorite.
Well, Bide Awhile used to do a reading circle where the kids would come and read to the cats and kittens. And so then COVID, so we are slowly but surely getting all these back up.
So what you're doing is starting to rebuild all your programming
Right.
and community outreach. Since
And we're
COVID.
open to pretty much anything. Like, let's talk about it. The Girl Guides want to come in. They bake us treats. They make us beautiful sock toys. I don't know where they're at now, full of catnip. The cats love them. They bake treats for the cats. And so they're coming in twice. 2 different groups are coming in to do a tour. We have a boy who, Tucker, every year for his birthday, he doesn't ask for gifts, he asks for Bide Awhile gifts. So he does fundraisers and buys us pet pantry items and cleaning supplies and brings those every year. So he'll get a big tour for him and a friend. We have Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Their day is Sunday. They have 3 time slots available that their Big Brothers, Big Sisters can bring their little brother, little sister in for an hour or 2 to come and hang out with the cats.
What else is surprising about this place? That if somebody watching at home were to, you know, they think, oh wow, I never imagined that was happening.
Yeah, well, how hard it is to get a kitten, because we're sitting in the kitten room with
Yeah.
all these kittens, but I can tell you that it's not kitten season. So the number of kittens we have at the moment for January is rare, and people are wanting cats and kittens at all times. Like, they just don't understand that I have 18 appointments between now and tomorrow at 2 o'clock when we close, and I only have 7 kittens.
So the kittens will be
And
gone.
some people want 2. So if, you know, I have to call people after this last kitten's adopted and say, I know you have an appointment, but we don't have any kittens left. And it's not easy, you know, and some people I think people would be surprised that there's limited number of animals. And I can tell you that in December we adopted 52, and in January we're on track to do almost the same.
Oh wow. And so those are surrendered animals and kittens.
That are vetted. So
Yeah.
it takes about 2 weeks from the time they arrive to be vaccinated, dewormed, microchipped, flea and tick treated, and spayed or neutered. So in that 2 weeks, then they move up to the main room or the kitten room to be adopted, and then they're gone.
Lymph nodes feel normal in her neck. Ooh, toes feel good. Yes, very normal. Yes, I could feel some mammary development on. She says, I got places to be today. She's a little on the lean side too.
Yeah.
Like, she's got a little bit less muscle just because she is growing a bunch of babies in here. So if she's not already, she should be on kitten food to try and help support her growth a little bit. Because during this point and when she's nursing kittens, it decreases a lot of their muscle mass, and they have a really high caloric intake requirement.
Exactly.
They require a lot more nutrient value. So
Absolutely.
let's have a feel. Oh, yes, you've got quite the belly on you, don't you, ma'am? Now, if you could take the front end here, I'll try to see if I can feel individual kittens.
Thank you.
And we'll get the scale too.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that, you know, it was really hard to give them away. Can you talk about that a bit?
Maybe before COVID, the shelters were fuller, but since COVID and people realizing how much joy and how good it is for your mental health to have a pet, like we can't, we can't,
Big sneeze.
poor baby, we can't vet them fast enough. Like years ago, if a 10-year-old cat came into the shelter, it would last a long time, but now people are looking specifically for 10-year-old cats because you know what you're getting. You know you're
Ow!
Oh, he bit you.
Bit right in. Oh man.
Oh, he really got you.
He got me good.
You're not supposed to do that.
little bit sharp there. She's like, I got enough. I'm going for it.
I don't want to have to scruff you, but
Come on. Get a string.
Come here.
Somebody sounds like they're purring.
Good girl.
It's a cat sometimes, or sometimes we'll have, I call them the hello cats.
Good girl.
Sometimes when we're down here, like vacuuming and stuff down the hall, we'll hear a cat sound like hello.
You have all of your adult teeth, so I would say you're probably just a year old.
Yeah, but not 3 or 4.
No. See how small her teeth are?
Yeah.
See how nice and white and clean they are?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She's got clean skin.
I'm gonna guess that she's roughly a year old because she has all of her large teeth in the back. And if she was right around, see they're just starting to come in.
Oh yeah.
So I would guess she's probably around like 9 months old to a year if I had to guess. For some young kittens, around 6 or 7 months old, they'll have mixed dentition, which means they have like 2 canine teeth with their baby teeth, so they'll kind of look like their whole mouth is like erupting with teeth, which is kind of scary to look at sometimes. But all her baby teeth will all fall out. If you're lucky, you find them. If not, they're swallowed.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to go, Ben? Very nice.
Oh, I gotta give her advantage first.
Oh,
What other fundraising stuff do you guys do?
We have cat yoga, which is a huge, it hasn't been happening since COVID, but it's certainly popular. So we have 2 events for cat yoga coming up.
Okay, so I think the cat yoga sounds like a gas. And do these creatures, are they just...
These guys will all be set free down there, as well as a couple from the main room, a little older, but
Yeah.
wilder. So there'll be a lot of cats down
And
there.
they're
There'll be about 18 people doing yoga, and then the instructor, and they'll be just free to roam. I don't know how much yoga will get done.
a lot of
More cat cuddling.
A lot of cat cuddling.
Yeah. I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming to our first Cat Yoga 2023. Hopefully it won't be our last. And I hope you all enjoy the kitties. They're all adopted. Everybody in the room has a home. You'll have to book an appointment and come see me if you want one. All right, let's do some yoga.
Yeah, so you're right, you can stay down if anyone has any discomfort. You can always roll the mat, grab a sweater. Right arm will reach up towards the ceiling and then stack the shoulders, start to open the chest, lift the gaze.
Well, you would think because they move so quickly they wouldn't get as attached as we do. Everybody here has a day where you're crying because your cat's getting adopted.
Yeah.
Because you just form a bond. Some cats just, or dogs even, sometimes you just bond with them. And even though you know you can't take them home, and you know the best thing is for them to get a different home, it's still heartbreaking. 53 years we've been in HON. And for 53 years we've helped match people with their pets, their forever pets, their for now pets, and we basically, ultimately we're here for the community. When your landlord changes the rules and says you can't have a pet, we help. If you are financially unable to take care of your pet, we can help. If you're looking for a pet, we can help.
Maybe